Twitter indexing, as I mentioned, Google now gets information from Twitter by an API. In other words, every time someone does a tweet, Twitter notifies Google that it's happened and they get that information in real time. Oops, I went too far. Excuse me. All right. We gotta jump back. Okay, so back in February of this year, what we did is we ran a study of 138,000 tweets. And the reason we did that is we wanted to see how many of them Google put in their index, how many would show up for search results. So that was the purpose of the study. And when we did that, we found basically that the February results, about 7.4% of all tweets were indexed. Now, most of you in the audience probably thought that number was, well, doesn't Google index them all? And the reality is that they don't, because Google doesn't index things that they don't find valuable, right? So, but about 7.4% were indexed. But one of the reasons why they may not have been indexing that many tweets is because previously they had to crawl Twitter constantly to find new tweets. But with this API access, they no longer have to do that. So the theory was that the indexation would go way up. So one of the measurements we took is we looked at within the first 7 days, how many tweets got indexed. Turned out that back in the February study, only 0.6% were indexed within the first 7 days. Now, I know I mentioned 3.4% a moment ago. 3.4% was how many were indexed over like months. So over time, Google indexes more and more. But what we did is we compared February indexation of Twitter. First 7 days had less than 1% indexed. And in the June study that we published, because we redid the study, it jumped to 3.4%. That's a 466% increase. It sounds like a big deal. But if you're thinking that tweeting something is going to cause Google to discover your content really quickly, 3.4% is a really small number, right? So using Twitter as a way for people to discover your content might not be such a great idea. And it does appear that Twitter is probably not that valuable a place for your content to appear from an SEO perspective, from a Google perspective. Tons of other reasons why you want to be on Twitter. The other thing that was interesting, oh, hang on, oh. There we go. We also did another slice where we compared the authority of the people doing a tweet, and we found that people that were more authoritative got indexed more often. So for people with very high authority, like more than 100,000 Twitter followers, back in February, they had almost 20% of their tweets indexed. So the authority of the person doing a tweet is a big deal. And in June, that even became a bigger discrepancy. And you could get 35% of your tweets indexed if you happen to have more than 100,000 Twitter followers. That's not everybody, unfortunately.